Mark, thank you for not going anywhere. Now let me ask, what do you have time for anything else? I mean, very, very busy program on your hands.
Well, yes, but I'm a family man. I'm married to Andrea, my wife of 28 years. We have 3 wonderful children.
Don't let them hear you say that.
Andrine is 26, she's an attorney. Her brother Joel is 23, he's a sports journalist. And our baby, David, is 15, he's a high school student. And my family is very important to me. I have a pretty tough schedule, traveling. I travel a lot between the months of August and June on the job. But I have made sure that in my scheduling, my assistant knows not to schedule me on Valentine's Day, romance, my anniversary, my wife's birthday, my son's birthday. Certain family days are mine, and I'll take the whole week off to be with them. In the summertime, we do as much as we can as a family together because I devote the time to that. I'm home on weekends, and I also get involved in my church where I'm involved in the area of music. But I want to maintain a good balance. As much as I want to give the rest of the world, my family is placed in a very high priority. I talk to my wife on average 5 or 6 times per day when I'm on the road because my family is important to me. My favorite sport, I call it football, Americans call it soccer, and of course June is upon us, which means the World Cup from South Africa.
So Mark Brown's not traveling anywhere in June, is it?
There are plans for me to go to Bahrain on June 11th to speak, the first day of the World Cup tournament. However, my family knows when I'm home this summer for the World Cup, don't bother me. I want to watch TV, I want to see the games, and they're very, very understanding. We maintain a lovely home in a little town called Lizella, Georgia, and I spend time cleaning my pool and cutting my yard and just being a family man and doing what people do. What I do for work is great, but for any endeavor, if the balance is not there, if we can't balance family time or spiritual pursuits and our work, if anything is askew, then we're heading for a fall. And I work very hard at maintaining that balance because I think a balanced life helps me better serve those who I speak to.
I was reading about you, and of course you have this threefold mission, and
yes.
let's talk about that because I really liked what it talked about, the head and the heart and the hands. Let's hear it from you.
You know, very early on, I had this goal to target 3 parts of the anatomy. I called it my Triple H formula. Touch your head to make you think. Touch your heart to make you feel. And the hard one is to touch your hands to make you act. What that means is, hopefully, when I'm through, you'll either start doing something, stop doing something, or you will start doing something differently because of my words. And my goal really has been, if I can't make the audience think, I'm merely an entertainer. And that's not good enough. Yes, you want them to laugh, have a good time, but you also want to jog the gray cells. Think about your life, your impact, your relationships, your work, whatever it may be. Touch your heart. I want you to feel something because our emotions drive us to do certain things. And to touch your hands, I really want people, when they walk away from any Mark Brown talk, to say, you know what, it was worth my while to have been there, and now I have some tools to change something in my life or help somebody else change their lives for the better. It's a very difficult task, it's a tall order, but that's my personal challenge to me, to not leave the world the same way I left it, and to have some valuable impact on the people who are in that room.
What about work, Mark? And I mean, this is obviously, I mean, I get the feeling this is what you love to do.
A full-time job.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job,
right?
Yes.
So what do you think about Toastmasters International in India?
I haven't been able to watch as closely as I've had other parts of the world, but because I've had contact with Toastmasters from India over the last several years, I see that yearning, I see that thirst, and I'm a little bit concerned, I must confess, because I found out that there's some Toastmasters here who know I'm here this week, and they think, well, he's a world champion, will he even talk to me, you know, because he's a world champion. I want people to understand I'm human, I'm like everybody else, and for those who may be in awe of a world champion, we're just like you. Someday, we were right where you are, we saw other world champions and thought, oh my goodness, I could never do that. And now it is my privilege, my honor to give what I have to other people. So knowing that there is this desire to excel, there is a desire to grow, what I bring with me, I hope, will be of some value to those who hear it, and then they'll take it, they'll set goals to forge ahead, to enter the contest. Tomorrow, they will crown someone who will represent India in the semifinals at the Toastmasters Convention. If they win that semifinal, there'll be an Indian standing on the stage in August in the World Championships. I would love to know I've met that person this week and encourage them as they seek to meet that goal. And when one person achieves within this district, is an impetus, it's encouragement for everybody else to achieve as well.
But you have had a world champion who is from India, right, a few years ago?
Well, Vikas Jingran won in 2007. He is Indian. I think he's from New Delhi, but he moved to the USA to go to MIT to study engineering. So he competed as a resident of Massachusetts, District 31, not as an Indian from 82. Well, this year we hope that will change. I really, really do. Because for the longest while, the contest winners have been North Americans. Even though I am Jamaican, I won as a North American resident. And, you know, I would love to see more and more people from outside the USA not only place, but actually win the title.
Right. Mark, one of the things that concerns me as one travels around the world is that I find personally that children in other countries are very much exposed to coming out, to speaking in public, to learn to be confident and to conduct themselves in a certain way. It's only recently in India that we've been paying attention and encouraging our children to come out. So is this one of the areas, and I know you deal with schools and children a lot. Give me your views on this, Mark.
You know, I think children should be given the opportunity to learn these skills. Now bear in mind, Toastmasters does have a program called Youth Leadership. And they will go into local high schools and they will teach young people these skills, how to run a meeting, how to speak extemporaneously, how to prepare and write and present a good speech. I think young people, given these opportunities early, is an invaluable asset. In the States, they have forensics where they do speech making, and they have elocution in England, I think. But I want to say, let's do it globally, because if we can teach young people to be effective communicators early on, it gives them an advantage going forward. And this world is changing so rapidly. Here we are, 21st century, and my deep concern about that, quite frankly, Jennifer, is this. Particularly in the States, we are so 21st century tech conscious that we are losing the interpersonal communication skills that are so valuable. We have lost the art of good letter writing. We now learn to write with thumbs, LOL, and we abbreviate everything, and we're losing the language. I say let's stop that cycle. Let's teach these kids how to read and write well, how to be good speakers, elocution. Let's go back to appreciating good poetry. Let's encourage kids to write their own poetry. Let's get back to the old, which can still be effective with the new, and then we can have these young people become the leaders of tomorrow that we're going to need.
Right. That is such a cheering note to end on, Mark. I'd like to thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure.
I appreciate
Thank
very
you
much
so
your
much.
time today. Well, that's all we have time for here on WeConnect. But don't forget that this is your show. It's your program. Do join us again next week at the same time. Thank you very much indeed. Goodbye for now.